Top of the morning, Guccini JD. Top
What's
of the
up,
morning,
bro?
man.
Top of the morning, man.
Hey, I like that top 10 wide receivers. We're gonna have to come back, double back with the 11 through 20 next week, man. We're gonna jump with these running backs this morning, though. Top 10 running backs, man. How your morning, how your weekend been, man?
Oh, it's been wonderful, man. Without a doubt, the grind don't stop, man. 7 days a week, man. We own this shit, man. Trying to bring y'all fire ass content, man. At least once a week, twice a week, if we can do it.
And we back with the 8 a.m. shot, coffee in the morning, doing our.
Facts.
Hey, look, for real quick, let's explain the significance of our background. So, if anybody noticed my background, when it was my dad's birthday, rest in peace, big kid, we put cups on the intersection. So when you roll by, it said "Happy B-Day, Fat Kid." Somebody hated and took it down recently, but that's okay. We got something coming. Don't even trip. But yeah, that's the significance of mine. JD, what you working with back there?
Oh man, that's the official logo back there that we just dropped, man. It's fully official. That's the Heart2Start logo back there. But last week,
Scoot over a little bit. Let me see that
oh,
thing. Yeah.
see, you got me bobbing and weaving. You know what
Okay.
I mean? But yeah, my background last week was my pops and his pops, and they both recently just went home. You know what I mean? So that's the significance of that of mine last week. You know what I mean? We doing it for them. You know what I mean? We pushing this legacy to a whole nother thing. We trying to take it to a whole nother level, man. That's a whole nother background, but here it is. Here, the Heart2Start boys, man.
Hey, shout out to my boy too, Ray Good, man, with the retro skin wear, man. Keep distance 2020, man. Cool
Keep
stock line,
distance.
everything. He coming. Hey, that's my boy. Y'all bet up, man. Get that going. But anyway, look, let's jump into these running backs, right? A lot of people I've been seeing 1 and 2 flipping and flopping. I seen you grab who's my number 2 at number 1. But
In a mock.
for
In a
me,
mock. Yeah, I
for
have.
me, man, CMC, bro, I had him in 2 leagues last year and just happened to win the championship in those 2 leagues. I'm rocking with CMC. He's my number 1, hands down.
Without a doubt. No, I definitely agree on that. You in any format, whether it be standard, whether it be half PPR, whether it be full PPR in which we play, all the leagues we play in is full PPR. Hands down, CMAC is the 101 without a doubt. But I mean, you can have an argument for, Barkley, but as of right now, I'm taking CMAC if I do get the number 1 pick.
Bruh, I honestly was going back and forth with myself last night. I wouldn't be mad at having Barkley. Like,
Not without a doubt.
I don't think I could take him before CMC just because, man, 23, 24, he's 8 yards away from 2,400 all-purpose yards last year. 116 catches. It's like even if he has a bad rushing day, he's going to catch those balls. Like,
No,
you
without
know
a
what
doubt.
I mean? I mean,
Without a doubt.
to me, Bridgewater is definitely an upgrade from Kyle Allen. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Yeah.
man.
Nah, and then just to double back on those receptions, he is one of the only 2 players to come into the league in his first 3 years and have 300 catches as a running back. And how you said if he has a down game on the rushing yards, he's always going to bring you that value in the receiving game. No matter who the quarterback is, he's done it with Allen, he's done it with Cam. Here come check down Teddy. So, the consistency is going to be there for sure. You know what I mean? But then what he hit with the 1,000 yards on the ground last year, 1,000, bruh, that might be his new norm. And with that being said, how can you not take him as the 101?
Man, it's like I said, if I had, and see, normally I might change my mind after this show, but I usually don't like the first 2 picks. But man, if I could have those 2, like they give you an advantage every week. You know what I mean? They give
Yeah.
you an advantage every week. If Barkley, we know his. See, let's just jump into 2. 2 is 2 Barkley for you as well?
Hell yeah.
Bro, 3rd year's a charm, man. I like those little anecdotes and word plays to make me feel and convince myself of something. But 3rd year's a charm, man. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Last year, 13 games, 1,000 yards, 52 catches, 8 TDs. Like, if he had all the games, we
Right. And then with Garrett coming over and him loving to feed to force feed the running back position, and him having a track record of doing that with DeMarco Murray and Zeke as a recent, Saquon, his role is already solidified, and we know what his floor is because we've seen his boom year, his rookie year, with a horrible team. Then we seen his second year as a bust year because he was going top 2, top 3, you know what I mean? But he still cracked them numbers that you crack. So if he did play it in 4 games, and we can try and project that out to a sample size of 16 games, man, he'll be a number 1 pick. That's your argument for the number 1 pick right there, with him being with McCaffrey being there. The only thing is between.
I'm with you, right? But then I just keep thinking back, like, McCaffrey had almost 8 yards for 2,400 all-purpose yards. It's like, is Barkley gonna get that? I'm thinking if he get 13 on the ground, he might get 6 in the air. You feel me? So we still under 2,000. You give McCaffrey a little regression, take him to 2,100, 2,000. He's still, but like you said, if you got the number 2 pick, you didn't have a choice to pick McCaffrey. So if you got Barkley, you good. You damn near got a poor man McCaffrey. Is that what you're saying based on the possibility of how the type of season he could have?
Right. But I think Saquon in his rookie year, he damn near had that close to 2,400 yards motherfucking total purpose. He had 13 on the ground, and I'm pretty sure he had at least about 700 yards receiving in his rookie year.
Yeah, 1A, 1B for sure.
Without a doubt.
1B. Well, shit. Who's your number 3? I'm curious.
I got the safest pick at running back. Zeke, without a doubt. Zeke is the safest pick. You know, I mean, they got Pollard there. You know, Pollard, he's gonna get a few touches. You know what I mean? Just
safe handcuff, though.
Safe handcuff. But Zeke is consistent at what he does, and that is how you was just saying, nigga, feed me. No, excuse me, feed me the ball. And his production on the ground is gonna be at least 1,100 yards, without a doubt. And then him getting them 52 receptions last year, that adds value in the PPR format, without a doubt. Only thing is with McCarthy coming there as the new head coach, but them keeping a offensive coordinator and them 52 receptions, that's going to be the key right there of him jumping into that, 1 and 2, finishing at the 1 and 2 spot. But yeah, without a doubt, he's my 3rd pick. He's my safest pick. And then he has that high upside with bringing them receptions into the game.
Man, look, I mean, I don't know. Gallup did his thing last year, but I feel like adding the weapons that they have, same offense, same coordinator, they got to respect it a little more. Dak on that contract year. Man, Zeke is as safe as you can get, and you might could argue with him over Saquon, to be honest. Bro, 14 touchdowns last year. Come on, man. That's not even – Todd Gurley, his best year, the year before last, he had 19 touchdowns. I could see Zeke getting 20-plus touchdowns because that offense is going to be high power.
High
power. I give Zeke about 20-plus touchdowns, bro. I'm saying
that's
that
big.
right now. If he had 1,357 rushing yards last year, I'm going to give him 1,500 this year. You know what I mean?
You're going to have to pick your poison on how you defend that offense.
You know, I just, as a Cowboy hater, I just hope, they got a bad record but a high potent offense if I got any shares of Zeke, you know what I mean? Yeah, Zeke.
Yeah.
Feed that man. Well, look, number 4. Who you got? I'm trying to see where we're going to disagree.
Zeke was your number 3, though?
Yep, he was my number 3.
That's big, bro.
Who you got it for? I'm curious to see where we go.
Okay, I got Derrick Henry as my 4th.
Okay, well, look, I got Henry as my 5th.
Wow. That's big. So we kind of up in there, without a doubt. Hey, this
want to know who Derrick, I got at 4? Kamara.
Oh, yeah, that's big.
I'm going bounce back year for Kamara. He only played 14 games last year, nagging injuries all year. You add in Murray, Taysom Hill, those trick plays in the red zone. This year, he's fully healthy, hopefully. You know what I mean? He only had 797 yards last year, but he caught 81 balls. So if we go on with another safe pick, we know the receptions are going to be there. And he had a
Yeah.
bad year last year. So
Right.
bad year is 81 balls, missed 2 games. Man, log him in for about 100 catches. I'll just say 90, just 90 something, just to be safe. But that's their offense. They love those type of plays. So really, just keep him around 100. That's safe. Does 800 yards? I give him 1,000 just cause every running back I feel like they want to hit that 1,000 mark. So we just give him 1,000 and shit. He had 9 TDs. You give him 11. I think his best year was like 18 touchdowns with Ingram. You feel me? He only 2 years removed from that.
Yeah, he's a TD monster, and he had 13 his rookie year. That's without a doubt. Without a doubt, in 3 straight years of 80+ catches. You know what I mean? His floor, the consistency of his floor is there, without a doubt. It was just a little few games that he missed, and he probably played through the season hurt last year. You know what I mean? That's why you probably didn't get as many TDs as you seen from him. You know what I mean? But without a doubt, I got him as my 5th. You know what I mean? So, we right there up in there. And Kamara could easily have a season where he shoots into that top 3, And then, if he's your 4th and he's my 5th, that means he's going either if you in the 12-team league, he going in the middle of the first. You know what I mean? So you're going to be able to double back and be able to maybe pairing with 9 and 10 running backs. You know what I mean?
And I be thinking,
and have an established team.
I think like that when I draft teams too. Like, what will I be able to get? Will I, this name? But see, with you having Henry at 4 and me having him at 5, I'm gonna tell you, I'm torn on that, on maybe switching him. You know what I mean? If I was in the draft, see, I think Kamara going a little bit late in the first round because
sleeping on him.
Because you got those players that people love and they got to have. So after those 3 running backs are gone, typically Michael Thomas is going to go. You know what I mean? So then you throw in, then you come back to a running back. So like you said, really about the middle round. You can get him about the middle round, right? But Henry, bro, man, look, Henry, I want to put him at 4 so bad. But I feel like Kamara's catching makes him safe. But at the same time, that Kev logic, right? That Kev logic say – that Henry could single-handedly win you 2 or 3 or 4 weeks with those 40, 50-point explosions, which it won't matter who you play damn near, you just going to wipe the floor with him. Kamara getting those, you know what I mean? Henry going to have a lot more of those. So if they end up having around the same points, is Henry going to win you them weeks with them crazy stat games?
And see, the reason why I got Henry at 4 is because they just invested into him. They invested into Tannehill. And now with them having a consistent quarterback and a consistent receiving threat and going into the second year off of a hell of a run and building upon that momentum, I think Derrick Henry is going to be able to catch the ball more. We've seen that he had an 80-yard play on the screen. You know what I mean? No, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I think that he can build upon that momentum and catch the ball, bring a little bit more to the receiving game. And if he brings anything more to the receiving game, bro, that upside is going to fucking go out the water because we see what he does on the ground, even though he might have some buzz games because it takes him a little bit to get revved up during the season, but they got to feed him the ball. If they going to go anywhere, they going to feed him the ball, bro. They got to. And he's done it 30 times a game, bro.
And for you and when you said the passing game, them having to respect the passing game a lot more, that's going to be big. This year he had 1,500 rushing yards and 18 TDs. Remember how I said what's the name could get to that 20 TD? Well, log me in for 1,800 yards on the ground for Henry and 20 touchdowns. And that's what I'm saying. Some of them weeks he might have 4 touchdowns in the game. Your opponent going sick he playing, I play Henry out of all the players. I got to play the guy with Henry this week. Like, they going to be mad.
Right.
So I'm not – man, it's hard. It's hard, man. That's what these running backs is. Running backs is deeper than I thought, bro. When I was going through my rankings last night, running backs is a lot. Well, it's top heavy, but the top is pretty deep. Who you got at 6? I don't think we got the same person at 6.
I got Dalvin at 6, bro.
I got
In
Dalvin
which
at 6
Dalvin
too.
Dalvin can go into easily the 4 or the 5 spot.
I got Dalvin at
Easily.
6.
And the only thing that I got him, reason why I got him is just the injuries. He missed, even though he had a great season last year, he missed the last 2 games, which he probably could have played because I think they had the playoff position wrapped up. I'm not too sure about that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So with that said, and him, the contract being up in the air, not knowing if they're going to fully commit to him, you know what I mean? That's the only reason why I don't got him in my top 5. You know what I mean? But how can you argue against what the fuck he did last year? You know what I mean? Even though the injury concern is there, bruh, I think that shit could be a fluke, bruh. This boy can be fully recovered. You know what I mean? It was a shoulder injury last year. The previous years was lower like type injuries. You know what I mean? Hamstring, and I had him 1 year. You know what I mean? So with the production that he came with last year, bro, if he could definitely build upon that and continue that.
I agree.
13 TDs last year. What he brings in the receiving game, we seen it, bro. With no Diggs there, you got a rookie that you're gonna have to rely on out there. No, Dalvin, his role gonna step up more with Diggs being gone.
I'm gonna say this with Dalvin. Another guy I had last year, I had, believe it or not, him and McCaffrey and Lamar Jackson in both the leagues I won. Those are the 3 guys. But Dalvin, I got him a little late last year, right? Well, late compared to where we ranking him now, right?
Coming off injuries.
Right. So my thing, number 1, is if you got Dalvin, if you don't have Madison, you're dead in the water. Like, you might as well bet the field. You know what I mean? And throw the dice, because that's what you know, with the contract situation. I'm going off of that. Second, I've had players in contract situations. I've traded for Bell when he was in the contract situation. I had Melvin Gordon, drafted him in the contract situation. The shit is annoying, bro. And if he's in your first round pick, I don't know if I'm willing to invest that. Now, if he's at training camp and everything they got going, he's doing it and he's still hoping for a contract, that's different. But if there's any sign of a holdout, I got him out of my top 10 easily. But as of now, assuming he plays, top 6 for sure. 250 attempts last year, like you said, 14 games, 1,100 yards, 13 touchdowns, 53 catches for 519 yards.
Right, that's big.
How can you
that
argue
boy
that?
was balling. That boy had great weeks.
How can you argue? So, look, we still basically on point right now. McCaffrey, Barkley, Zeke, we got the same. We whip with Henry and Kamara. We flip-flop. Even though I had Kamara ranked higher, I still agree to maybe put Henry there. So 7, I don't know if you got this person. I didn't guarantee you don't got this person. Kenyon Drake.
He's in my top 10, but he's not at my 7.
He's my 7. 123 attempts only with the Cards, 643 yard, averaging 5 a carry. Add DeAndre Hopkins, the offense is going to be potent. You're not coming into the game plan focusing on Kenyon Drake. You're focusing on Kyler Murray mixed with some Kenyon Drake and those weapons. 8 TDs, 28 catches only. Drake is the person that everybody wanted him to be. That year when he went off on the Dolphins, people who had him, it probably helped them win the championship because they was able to depend on him late in the season. When they drafted him the next year, they were praying that he was going to be what he was going to be, and they let us down. Dolphins let us down 100%. As soon as he got over there, it was like a burst of new life. Mix that with a possible contract season, I'd say give him 1,400 yards, 12 touchdowns. And one more thing I'll say about him, if you get him, you better get Edmonds or you're dead in the water. Period.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. You know what I mean? And the cold thing is who I got at my 7 is just like Drake, how he performed, because Drake came over in the trade deadline somewhere around there, right? So who I got at 7 started balling out when they shipped Jordan Howard out, which is Miles Sanders. So they both had that. They seen their production start to increase once they became the so-called man, and so in the situation that they were in. You know what I mean? And so with that said, we projecting them at that 7 to elevate what they did last year and solidify as being an RB1. And so just for me, what Miles Sanders is that, you know, same offense, same coordinator, you know, the same shit, you know what I mean? Off that, that's going to be a plus. We was talking about that last week about having that consistent factor, you know, with the other players going into new situations with new coaches, coordinators, and the whole shit. So with that said, and him having 50 receptions on 63 targets, that's fucking efficient, bro. Even though that they didn't have no receivers out there, he was showing that he can hold that role coming out the backfield. And he had 818 rushing yards with him not being the full-time dude there on his rookie year. He was only 200 yards away from having a stack with 50 receptions, bruh. And he had 6 TDs, 509 receiving yards, bruh.
Listen,
Them
Miles
projections.
Sanders, he was that guy last year that either owners held on to him or they traded him. I was not able to get him. I wanted him.
I wanted him
Els,
too.
the champ had him.
The
He
champ.
was like, nope, I'm
Shout
holding
out
on. I
Els.
forget who had him in your league, but nobody wanted to let him go.
No, they did.
Definitely believe that he could be something nice in there. And reports are out of him that they say he could be a 3-down back. I'm just worried a little bit about how the Eagles do. You know how they do, bro. They mix a lot of little players. And I'm going to keep it real. I think Miles Sanders, I'm going to regret not ranking him in my top 10, believe it or not. He's not in my top 10.
That's cold. So the cold thing is –
But I'm going to say this. I don't mean to cut you off. The person who I replaced for him is – I don't want to say it's a dart throw, but it's kind of a dart throw. You feel me? I'll leave that there.
But the cold thing is you know, I got him in there. You know, I'm projecting him over a 16-game season to be that fucking guy. You know what I mean? And, you know, even though how I preached on my first 3-4 picks, 5, even with Kamara and Derrick Henry, is the consistency factor. So them dudes is going early in the draft. And so when you going picking first, you know, with them top 3-4 picks, you got to have a safe pick. You know what I mean? So with Miles Sanders being my 7th ranked running back and him with them receivers probably going a few slots ahead of him, you're going to be able to double him up with maybe another running back that we have, especially you not having in your top 10 or whatever. You know, you're going to be able to pair him. So with him having that upside, I think you're going to be able to pair him with somebody and have that fucking league-winning upside with him, without a doubt. That's why he's in my top 7.
Cook. He could be like how Dalvin Cook rewarded people.
Without a doubt.
For sure.
Without a doubt.
Like I said, I replaced him with somebody that it was more of a dart throw, if anything. But like I said, hey, Dalvin, I mean, he's safe, bro. I like Miles Sanders a lot, and there's no real backup. Now, I will say this. Keep a watch out for them possibly adding Devontae Freeman, though. If Devontae Freeman comes over there, how you feeling about him? You taking him out?
Concussed, though.
I mean, less workload, though. Not the number 1 back. Maybe Freeman showed he can't get the ball too many times. He can't stay healthy.
Yeah, they still got Boston Scott over there. Boston Scott performed too, though, at the end of the year too, though.
So are you comfortable taking him at the beginning of the second and not having a pick till the end of the next round?
Yeah, especially if I'm pairing him with – if I can get
any first round pick.
No, because if I'm picking if I got him at 7, that means I'm able to get him at the 8th pick, 9th pick, and I can come back
over some of them receivers though.
Huh?
You're not picking Miles Sanders in the first round though, for sure.
No, I'm not. So I'm hoping that he slide. If I'm picking at 9, 8 or 9, I'm able to get maybe hopefully Kamara or Dalvin because Mike Thomas is gonna get slotted up. Maybe Devontae Adams might, because we play in PPR, cousin. So, you know, the way that we draft, and we, you know, a lot of these dudes, we done drafted with them for many years. Them receivers get pushed up. So if I can get, you know, maybe Alvin Kamara or Dalvin Cook at that 8 or 9, and hopefully Miles slides to me at that, I will probably pick at the 3rd pick in the 2nd round. I'm building my team, bro. So that's my stance on my 7th ranked running back.
Who you got at 8?
I got Joe Mixon. Joe Mix.
Okay. He's not there for me. Not that. Not yet. Not yet.
Yeah.
I got
Well, I mean, so
Nick Chubby. I got Chubby.
I ain't mad. You want to break down yours or you want me to break down mine?
I mean, shit. Add in Stefanski coming from Minnesota. You know what I mean? I see Nick Chubb getting 300 carries. He averaged 5 or more yards per carry with a bad offensive line, right? And peep this. How many yards did Derrick Henry had last year? 1,400. Nick Chubb had 1,494.
Yeah,
8
I had
touchdowns.
Chubb. I drafted
Touchdowns
Chubb in
weren't
two
there.
in two league, and
8
both of
touchdowns.
mine. Look, bruh, in both of our high stakes league, which one of them you won, and the other one we do the live draft. I had 2 shares of that boy. That shows you how high I was on him,
And
on Chubb. But he ain't even in my top 10 this year.
see, that's my thing with you, JD, right? Hey, I say this time and time again. When you want your guys, you're going to get them. But
Yeah,
see, I'm a
but Hunt
gambler.
scares me over
Look,
there though, bro.
look, I'm a gambler, right? I'm like the let me gamble and see if nobody else want him like I do and see if I could get him at a, you know what I mean, a later, earlier maybe spot. You get what I'm saying? That's how
Yeah.
I would have felt about Chubb last year. But you got him at the back of the first round, so that's the same as getting him in the second.
Yeah, no, I got him. I got him with the first pick of the.
Look, I
Of the second round.
feel you about Hunt, right? But like I said, Stefanski coming through that thing. Bro, I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Baker, look, sometimes the ego take over, and I ain't just gonna blame him because they didn't invest in their offensive line like they should have last year. So I blame them, and I also blame that.
But they
Freddie
did it this
Kitchens.
year, though. That's for
Freddie
sure.
Kitchens, you feel me? Like that was never a good fit to me. I see Baker having a comeback year, but I think it starts with the run for them. My prediction for Chubb is give him 11 TDs up from 8, give him 1,400 yards, and then add maybe 50 catches because Hunt, they get on the field together sometimes too. They got a lot of little things they can do, but I'm just not sold on them, even though they brought Hunt in and we know he could catch the ball. I feel like that was more so because of that line, bro. They had to have pass catching running backs because they coming in there so quick. That was their get out of jail free card in a lot of situations. So I look them to pound the rock. They got a special talent in Nick Chubb, and he could have easily been over Kenyon Drake for me. I just like Drake because of that offense. Like I kind of like maybe what the Browns offense is going to do this year.
Yeah, but then you got to go look at the split when Kareem Hunt got activated and started playing. That boy's production was not what it was when Hunt couldn't play, bro. I don't got the specific numbers in me right here in front of me, but I'm gonna go dig them up and I'm gonna try and find them for you, bro. But that boy,
I had Hunt. He was giving me 13, 14 points at the end of the year last year.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is that when Hunt was balling, that boy Chubb's production wasn't what it was when he was giving you when Hunt couldn't play. When Hunt could play, Chubb's production wasn't there.
What was their record when they were doing that?
They was weak.
They got it. They brought a new coordinator in because what they doing ain't working. So I'm not gonna go with what they was doing last year when they got a new coordinator. I'm gonna go with the gamble that Stefanski is bringing his style in, even though Kubiak had a lot to do with that too. I'm gonna go with Stefanski, bro. Run.
I hear you.
Give it to me. You know what I mean? I'm taking that all day. They got receivers that'll keep it honest. I mean, come on, man. Chubb averaging 5 yards a carry with them receivers. That's part of the reason, too. You got to add in a better line.
Yeah.
Chubb all day. And like I said, I'm not grabbing him before Devontae Adams or some of those players, but, you know, that's where he is in my top. He had number 8.
Well, I got Joe Mixon at my 8. And just like how I said on the top 4, top 5 running backs in my motherfucking in my rankings is the consistent factor. This boy Joe Mixon, the last 2 years has eclipsed over 1,000 yards, even though he hasn't had a double-digit TD season. And with them drafting Joe Burrow, A.J. Green getting signed in the tag, them getting T. Higgins, you have yo boy, which is Tyler Boyd. They got the offensive tackle that they drafted the previous year, not first overall, but in the first round coming back. He's an Alabama boy. I think that offensive line gets better. And then the whole offense gets better. So we see the consistency, what he brings on the ground with 35 receptions last year. We see that he can catch the ball with a better offense and them not having to rely on him. And then definitely his production jumped up in the second half of the season, which he didn't slow down, even though they was the worst team in the league. He still kept balling. And I know he probably carried some fools last year to the offs. You know what I mean? So with the consistency, that's why he's in my top 10. And then with the projections of the reception game and the team, the overall offense being better, yes, I can see him being in the top 5 of finishing the top 5 in the running backs at the running back position this year if he brings more receptions.
I got Mixon at number 10 for me. And like you said, he had over 300 touches last year. And the opportunity is there. The opportunity to work.
He's the guy there.
Is there, right? But his production hasn't been there. Like you said, we can give it to the offense. It was bad. You know what I mean? It was bad.
No, the production was there, though, because he's getting 1,000 yards for the last 2 years, though.
The production's there. He had 1,400 all-purpose yards last year, 1,100 rushing, like you said, 5 TDs. The TDs weren't there. I could easily see him getting back to all-purpose yards. I could see him getting 1,800 TDs up. Let's get it closer to the double digits. He's in the top 10. Not to mention he's an unrestricted free agent after this. And there has been talk that without an extension, he might, have a problem with that. So keep an eye on that. That's all I will say. But I love Joe Mixon. I'm a Joe Mixon guy. Remember, I had him when he was a rookie. I had him. Everybody was, you depending on Joe Mixon. But I got him in like the 4th round. That was the year I had when we drafted in Mexico. He did what he did for me. But him being my first pick, second pick, I could be happy with him being my second player, but I don't know if I want him to be my second best player though. So I'm kind of torn on that.
But I mean, the consistency is there though. Yeah. It ain't nobody behind him that's threatening. You know what I mean? The offense got potential of booming this year. You know what I mean? That's why I got him there, bro.
You got
everything. And my 9 was.
You don't got who I got at 9.
No. My 9 was I forgot where you said you had Drizzy at, but Drizzy is my 9. So It ain't no. I don't need to speak on my 9. So go ahead and drop your 9.
My 9 is Todd Gurley.
Wow, speak on it, big fella.
Man, hey, I'm going with the bounce back. He still had over 250 touches last year. The offense just was in
the Heart2Start bounce back year. That's when you coining that, Brad.
The Heart2Start and you say bounce back because he only had 897 yards on the ground last year. But like I said, that offense was it was off. They put too much faith in Goff last year. It just wasn't clicking. You know what I mean? Falcons line, top 10 run blocking line last year. The weapons that they have over there, I mean, come on, Julio, Ridley,
right.
Hurt throwing hurt. That what can you do? And I mean, shit, that's gonna keep them on. Over the last 3 years, the Falcons running back have averaged 1,380 yards, 9.7 TDs. Give him another 570 plus in the air, 5 TDs through the air. Come on, bro. He had 250 touches last year. They say they give him Gurley all he can handle. And they're not a team where they just have to pound a rock and he's going to be in situations. He's going to have a lot of situations where he's not even seeing too many. They're not stacking the box with Julio and Ridley on the outside.
No, that's for
not
sure.
going to happen. You know what I mean? Give him his same 250 touches last year. I say he up his 857 yards, give him 1,200, and give him 14 touchdowns. We said his best year was 19 touchdowns. Give him 14 because when they going to get down there and they going to do what they do, Gurley going. And then the thing I love about Gurley is I don't think you'll be able to get him in the late second. I think. People are scared, bro. People got scarred, bro. Memory happens. People don't have a short memory like you're supposed to have.
How you gonna get scared and he had 14 TDs last year? That's 1 TD, damn near 1 TD a game, bro. On everything. You can't beat.
And scared because of where they got him at.
No, I feel it. I feel it. And the cold thing is, from last year to his first, or to the previous 2 years before that, 857 yards on a down year, coming off of where The year before that, everything was up in the air. The Super Bowl, why he wasn't playing the whole joint. That Dallas game where he balled out and then they sat him the next week, shit like that. The boy is not, I don't think, what they had going on, I think they was mad because they gave him that money, bro. Real talk. They salary cap situation was over there so messed up. You see how they shipping people out and whatnot. They ain't signed Jalen Ramsey yet. The whole situation. So he was the first one to go. We got to get you up out of here, bro. Running back is so easy to is interchangeable. You draft him, you know what I mean? So the cool thing is he was just a victim of the salary cap. So like you said, the bounce back and the down production, which it wasn't down, the TDs wasn't down. It was just his yards on the ground and his receiving yards, because we see him coming out the backfield catching that ball, one move and he gone.
Hey.
And then and the cool thing is how you said Julio and Ridley, we can argue that they are way better than Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, and Brandon Cooks that they on their best days.
I'm with you on that.
Nah, but he ain't in my top 10, but without a doubt, though.
Hey, but check this out, though. If Gurley has a better year than he did last year, you're going to be able to get him in the third round, bro.
I don't know if you'll be able to get him in the third round.
Look, I just ran a simulation right quick while we were on. I just put myself at the number 2 pick, right?
Yeah.
Barkley, I grabbed Barkley. So who go after? Henry, Zeke, Tommy. These are all the people going before Gurley. Henry, Zeke, Michael Thomas, Kamara, Dalvin, Josh Jacobs, Nick Chubb, Joe Mixon, Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, D-Hop, Julio, Miles Sanders, Aaron Jones, Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Godwin, Galladay, Kelsey, Kenyon Drake. Now I'm back at the 211.
Where did Drake go?
At the end of the second.
That's never gonna happen.
Listen, now I go back to where is my pick right now, right?
I understand that, but the way that we draft in our leagues, that's not gonna happen.
Bro, all the players I just said, I could really see them going where they went, bro. Gurley is not off the board yet, and everybody that went before that's went off the board, I can see them drafted before Gurley, bro.
Where did you have Kenyon Drake slotted at?
We ain't talking about me. We talking about.
I'm just asking. Asking.
7.
You had Drake at 7. The way that you have him slotted, bro, in our leagues, that boy is not gonna be there at the end of the second round.
Gurley?
No, Drake.
Bro,
so that simulation is messed off.
Listen, you're looking at it different, bro. You could let's just replace Drake and put him at the beginning of the second and move everyone that's before him up. He's still gone. He's still gone.
The running back position is so premium. Everybody is thirsty for them.
Bro, we're talking about Gurley right now, bro. He'll be there in the third round, bro.
That's big. If he is, it's a steal. If he's there at the third round, bro, that's league winning value.
That's my point. You go get him in the third. He still ain't off the board right now.
I don't think
he still ain't off the board. Come on, bro. Yeah. You gonna get him at the end of the third. It's somewhere in the third, or somebody is a fan and they gonna bank on the bounce. Or somebody like Wax might grab him in the.
Shout out to Wax. Shout out to Wax. They in our classy league.
They love them so bad, but man, like I said, bro, that's it. That's my. And then I got Mixon at 10, like you said, Mixon. So who your 10?
I got Austin Eckler as my 10th. 108 targets with 92 receptions in a PPR league. I got to keep stating it, bro. I got to keep stating that we play full PPR league. 108 targets on 92 receptions, bro. 557 rushing yards. 11 total TDs. He was bringing you 19.3 fantasy points per game, which it averaged out to be. With a new quarterback, which either Tyrod or Justin Herbert are going to play or going to start, you know what I mean? They're going to heavily rely on Austin Eckler, bro. Same situation, bro. The offensive coordinator's there. My boy, the head coach, Lynn, I can't even think of his name right now. All that shit is the same, bro. I think Austin Eckler is gonna be the you said poor man's McCaffrey. There it is. There.
I could think that. The boy was doing one arm pull-ups.
I seen that the other day too, bruh.
I like
Without a
Eckler.
doubt, I like Eck.
I
Eck
like
is there for me, bruh.
I could see. Okay, well, look. Would you rather have Gurley or Eckler?
Gurley. I would rather have Gurley, but the cold thing is because that's the consistent thing that we've seen Gurley do it, and just the quarterback situation and all that over there in Atlanta. All that is solidified. We going into just the quarterback situation in San Diego. LA is different, but the role there for Eckler is solidified without a doubt. I mean, we got Justin Jackson over there. I know they got another running back over there as well. But what Eckler did last year with Melvin Gordon having his, I'm going to sit out, and when he finally decided to come back, they still let Eckler do his thing because he had the hot hand, bro. Eckler's there, bro. Without a doubt, that's how I feel.
I got Mixon right there, and Eckler wouldn't be far behind. It was, like I said, it was a little tough, and I went with Mixon in the top 10 because of, like you said, the opportunity is here. I'm big on opportunity. Like if I look for wide receivers, I look for targets. That's the thing. When we're on the wire searching and it's the season and players are getting hurt, I'm looking for targets. Who has the opportunity? Who's playing a lot of snaps? You know what I mean? So that's why I got Mixon in there. I definitely think Eckler can be a workhorse. He's going to have to be. But I would like to get him in like the third round. But I don't think that's going to happen because
that ain't going to happen.
Like BJ, Charger fan, had Eckler last year. He knows how it
hit on him too.
He knows how Eckler is. He knows how Eckler is without Melvin Gordon. So we already know what he can do, right? I don't think the offense changes too much.
Bro.
No, it's still dump downs, and even if they bring the rookie in, you know what I mean, it's still gonna be the same. So I like Eckler. I definitely like
rushing yards. If like them rushing yards go up, bro.
Who did I say I kept out of it? And I put Gurley in at the beginning. I said I kept somebody out of it. You got him in there. Who was your top 10?
Miles Sanders.
Miles Sanders. So I think at like that 11, 12, 13 spot, those players could have easily been in my top 10.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs. Who else is out there that we could drop? Because Josh Jacobs, I've been seeing him go in the first round.
He got to catch the ball more though. He's just gonna be relying on his production on the ground. I think he's cool, but is he like the running backs that we were relying on the production on the ground is like Henry? You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Nick Chubb.
But the Raiders also drafted.
Do I want to put Jacobs in that Henry category? I'm not ready for that.
Right. And they brought in other weapons to help in the receiving game. They drafted a running back, and then they re-signed Rashard. I think they re-signed Rashard. I think Washington got let go. But yeah, though. So they also got weapons bringing to, have him compete with targets out there. You know what I mean? We haven't seen him fully be that receiving threat out there, So, that's why he's not in my top 10. That's why I got Eckler here. And don't let Eckler get close to – he had 557 last year. If he can sniff 750, 800 yards on the ground with the 993, CMC, baby CMC. You said the one-arm pull-ups. Don't let him get the running the ball, bro. I'm telling you, all he needs is 75 yards a game on the ground. Hey, 65 yards a game on the ground with the receiving that he's doing, bro.
I'm with you.
That's my projected, that's why he's in my top 10, bro.
I like him a lot.
But I see what Gurley can do, consistency on the ground, but just his receiving threat as well, and him being in a better offensive situation. That's why I can definitely take Gurley over Eckler, but I'm projecting Eckler to be that guy, bro, to where he's that late RB still right there at the end of the, middle of the second round or something that's going to hit that value for you. You pair him up with one of them other running backs we talking with, if you picking at the end of the first round, it's a wrap. They carrying you. You want the body of your team. You want to build your body of your team with your first 3-4 picks.
For sure. I'm with you. I'm with you. I think this year is gonna be I don't know. I like the talent pool is real deep through the first four rounds. I think,
Yeah.
with the running backs, just how much I kind of struggle with who I wanted in my top 10 towards the end. That just shows that it's a little more deeper than I'm used to because I'm a wide receiver guy.
Right.
So that kind of switches my focus to, I do like to go best player available, but I feel like getting a top running back and a top wide receiver in the first two rounds is very important to me because I know that I'm gonna be able to get a strong running back and wide receivers are deep as well in
Yeah.
those third and fourth round, and I'll go, and then I'll go get my guys that I gotta have.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's just them running backs, bro. Some of them, even though we got
Volatile.
these projections on these running backs don't finish where we draft them at. The running backs, they can bust easier than what receivers can do. And the receivers is way deeper than the running backs to me. But you have to go get them running backs to me. I'm not worried about getting me one of the top tier receivers anywhere in the first couple of rounds. I'd rather go snatch me 3 running backs. I ain't gonna lie.
But see, look, this
Just
is
based
crazy,
on
right? So
it's
I was
harder
just
to hit on the running backs than it is. It's easier to hit on the receivers than it is on the running backs.
Man, I just did another one while we were on here just to see what type of running backs would be available if I didn't pick two running backs in the first three rounds. I'm at the second pick. I got Barkley. It wrapped around, and I grabbed Mahomes, right? Because remember, I said I don't want to grab a running back. So of the receivers left, I didn't want to grab Mike Evans because I like my next pick, which is Galladay. So I got Barkley, Mahomes, Galladay. Now, you would think that I'm going to have probably a kind of a whatever running back on the way back, right? Melvin Gordon. I was able to
Yeah.
stack Melvin Gordon with Barkley, Galladay, Mahomes. You know what I mean? So not having those, I like those two. Now I would be on the search for.
Well, how high are you on Melvin Gordon, though? Are you
I'm
good with
not.
settling? Huh?
I'm not. I don't even like Melvin Gordon this year. I'm gonna make sure I got Lindsey on this shit. But my
Yeah.
point is that I didn't get a running back in the first three. You feel what I'm saying?
I thought you said you had Barkley.
I didn't get two running backs in the first three rounds. I wanted to see if the running back is deep to where I can get a running back that I'm comfortable with. Melvin Gordon could be one that I could be comfortable with me getting three players and only one in the running back. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I hear you.
But
With me,
that's
though,
my
I'm trying to
strategy. I'm
bang.
not saying that's going to be my strategy, but
Right, no, I hear you.
to
I
be
hear your
seen,
point. No, without a doubt. Facts.
if
Facts.
I run another one, it go pretty quick. See where running back is left. Now, obviously, this isn't going to be what it's going to be, but see, now we got like a Josh Jacobs out there while I have Barkley right now. You got Clyde Edwards, so he's going to be there. So I would go with Josh Jacobs right here. So let me go with Josh Jacobs. I got Josh Jacobs and Barkley right now. And my next pick, so now my picks are out of Mahomes, Juju, DJ Moore, Jackson, OBJ, Amari, Thielen. Right now, guess who I'm going to grab? Gurley, because he's projected to go in the third. I'm kind of comfortable with that.
Yeah.
I might be comfortable with that because those receivers were deep and it's going to come back and swing. So I guarantee I'll be able to get a nice receiver that I like. DJ Shark, Devontae Parker right there. I could go grab DK Metcalf right now and just get my guy. You feel me? Now my team is Barkley, Josh Jacobs, DK, Ty Gurley. That's a nice little foe right there.
Yeah. And that's with
three running back.
You went 3 running back heavy?
In the first 3 rounds.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I like that because I could still grab another running back right now on my next pick because David Johnson is right here. So now I got David Johnson, Todd Gurley, Josh Jacobs, and Barkley. I don't got to grab no more running backs. I can go best player available, whether it be tight end, wide receiver, quarterback. Who we got? David Montgomery is still there. Ooh, Kareem Hunt, Deshaun Watson, Cam Akers. So, boom, I need to go wide receiver. Let's see how deep wide receiver really is because this is who's left. Brandon Cooks, but I already got David Johnson. I'll take Brandon Cooks because I need 2 receivers.
And what round is that?
I'm in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th round. 6th round, I'll take Brandon Cooks, or I could go grab Deshaun Watson right now because most of the quarterbacks is going off the board. So let me grab Deshaun Watson because I know he's not going to be there on 2 picks later that Matt Ryan went. So boom, he wouldn't have been there. I mean, like I said, we just guessing. So now I have to get a receiver because my receiver slot is empty. Brandon Cooks is still there. Run it. Come on, bro. Deshaun Watson, Barkley, DK Metcalf, Josh Jacobs, Todd Gurley, David Johnson. My running backs besides, Gurley and Johnson being hurt, but like you say, you control the market. So, hey, real estate is something that's really important in fantasy football. If you don't believe it, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Your team might do good or look good at the beginning, but
shout out to Nick, man. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon, man. The marathon continues, man. Off top, bro. And that's our approach in fantasy football as well, man. It's a marathon, man. We coined that a couple of seasons ago too, bro. You know what I mean? Strategy, bro. This
just
shit.
Thinking you're gonna draft the team and you're gonna win. The work
and you're gonna stick with it all year.
The work starts draft night. We'll be at the pool party, the club, the house chilling, and we talking trades. You can believe that.
Facts.
When we do our
I got videos of that. I got videos of people just staring at the board after the draft, y'all. I'm telling you, bro. We be trying to cook from the beginning to the end, man. I'm telling this shit don't stop, bro.
Scheme, everything. Pot, coming for that number 1 spot, man.
Facts, bro.
Man, look, we gonna come back heavy next week.
You got any shout outs, bro?
Man, shout out to everybody who been rocking with us, man. We look to our mock drafts every Wednesday on Zoom and the Sleeper app. Shout out to the Sleeper app.
Facts.
Every Wednesday, 7:30. We always got about 12 dudes. Maybe might do 14 this week, but shout out to everybody who's been rocking with us, man. And let's all prep to have a fun, competitive season, barring, what's going on in the world today.
Facts. So I just want to double back on that the Zoom and mocks we be doing, bruh. Every Wednesday, 7:30, like Cuzzo said, man. Sometimes we do the 12 to 14. The 14 is because we doing the Heart2Start Fantasy Football League this year with a lot of our viewers and whatnot, bruh. So we're going to definitely be bringing you content and updating y'all on the league. That's why we coming with 14. But you definitely jump into 12, man. And I know that's how most leagues is. Y'all come fuck with us, man. And then I just want to give a couple of shout-outs to a lot of people that have been supporting us on the gram, man. My boy Jay, the Fantasy Football Plug on Instagram. My dog Piggy Bank Picks. My boy Kev Banks off top. My boy Mock Draft Central. Every time we run a draft, he jumping up in there, man. He back on the gram fucking with his account, man. Y'all tap in with him. My boy Chris Picks. Another one over there at the Piggy Bank Picks. My boy Sin City. If I forgot anybody, man, please forgive me. But look, though, man, thank y'all for rocking with us, man. Y'all stay tuned on what we dropping, bruh.
We on. Heart2Start.
Heart2Start, bruh.